What's up, fishing friends and family? I'm Zeag. Let's make a popper. Airplane. I'm using a piece of 1 inch by 2 inch by 12 inch balsa wood. Popper lures by design are pretty hard to get wrong. They just need to float and have a cup in the front that when you yank on your line makes a popping noise. Balsa is a great wood for topwater lures. It floats really well, very buoyant, and it's easy to put weight or ballast in there and get the lure to do what you want it to do. After cutting out our profile, we want to cut contour. So I mark these lines. I'm just going to chop this wood off. I did some sanding off camera, and I also dremeled out the front cup of the lure off camera. Sorry about that. Now I'm drilling a 1/2 inch hole to install a 44 caliber round lead ball for muzzle loading in there to act as the weight and the ballast. Next up, we got to cut a slot halfway through our lure from the bottom in the center to accommodate a through wire for our line tie and hook hangers. Balsa is a very weak wood, and your line tie and hook hangers need to all be on the same piece of wire that runs through your whole lure. Otherwise, it would just tear out on even a medium-sized fish. In the middle of filming this video, and I found out I lost a friend. Don't take any moment for granted. Gonna take some of the stainless steel wire, cut it to length, and form it to make a line tie off the front, a hook hanger around here, and a hook hanger off the back. Something like this. To size my holes, I just use an old drill bit that I like the diameter of and bend it around there using pliers. The inside of this doesn't need to look very pretty, just as long as your 3 holes or however many line ties and hook hangers you're having line up to where they need to go. Now let's just glue that in there. Now just fill in the slot you cut and the hole for your weight with baking soda. And add super glue. Continue and then sand it flat. At this point, we have the slot and all the holes for the weights all filled in. Sanded again. The whole thing's been completely coated in super glue as well. We're smooth. This is basically our final shape. Now we're going to dip it in some clear coat. We'll let that dry, and the next step will be painting. We start by painting the whole thing white. Classically, popper mouths are red, so I'm just going to stick with tradition on this one. Got a little overspray right there. It's going to be okay. Next up, just a stripe of yellow down each side. Transparent bright green along the top of the side, and I'll probably cover the top in it too. Black across the top. Just going to do another quick coat of white on the bottom to cover up that little red blotch. Here's our lure so far. This is basically just the base layer of paint. From here, once this dries, we're going to put a clear coat on, and then there's many more layers of paint to go. Putting layers of clear coat between layers of paint really makes your details pop. It's subtle, but you'll see the paint behind the paint you put on top. It gives it a really great 3D effect, and I highly recommend taking the time to do this in between layers of paint. Clear coat is dry. Scales next. I'm using gold. Before we flip that, I got one more color. Transparent black on the brush. Gonna do something like a lateral line. This paint scheme isn't anything in particular, just kind of fish stuff. All right, here we go. Now I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side. Clear coat. Paint some gills, transparent black, just on the edge of the stencil here. This is transparent black, by the way. You're gonna do pearlized white. Just take your stencil, line it up with where it was, and just move it forward just a bit. A little lopsided, but it'll look cool still. Clear coat. Last step I'm going to do is do another coat of black on the top and bring little halos down right about here on each side for where the eyeballs are going to go. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to learn how to catch heavier fish. Our popper is done. I've added some eyeballs, I've signed it, and you guessed it, another clear coat is on it. I'm including a stencil of the popper I made, so you could make one too. If you do make one, comment below how it went. Did you make any improvements? Did you have some failures? I'm highly interested in knowing how it went. A couple of videos ago, I made a fishing reel, and I also made a fishing rod. Here's a quick video of me catching a fish on that. Always satisfying when you can do that. And also, here's my daughter and I walking across a bridge after doing a quick river walk fishing trip. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're making things. Doesn't have to be fishing lures. Just make things. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.